Hey all, welcome to my channel. Um, there's not much to say basically. I mean, it's not to be disappointed, but honestly, you come back in the fourth quarter, take a lead, and then you lose it. It it was really depressing, quite honestly, really depressing as you see in the score here. Um, I mean, the Knicks did play really well in the fourth quarter. I mean, in the first quarter, I think they were just getting used to it, or I don't know what it is, but um, it's not to be surprised per se. But at least they played really well. Now the real question is should we expect a lot from them? I don't know if that's a case, because let's put it this way: the now you're welcome to agree or disagree, of course, and welcome to put it in the comment section. I do read my comments and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. We know that both Boston and Milwaukee are the top two teams in the Eastern Conference. Whichever one of them goes to the finals, it's I don't want to say it's up in the air, but more people are saying that the Bucks are more favored to win, to go to the finals over the Celtics, because the fact is they've got Giannis and they've got Damian Lillard, and the fact is like they're kind of comparing them to like the Jordan Pippen duo. In reality, they're both not any. Neither one of them are Jordan. They're more like a sort of. I guess what you could say is more like a Hakeem Drexler type of thing, more than anything else. Um, but that's assuming everyone else shows up. Because the one thing is let's not forget, Boston. Not only do they have Jason Tatum, and Brown, but they do have Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a great defensive player. He can help to the point where like he can contain Damian Lillard when it comes time to the point where the Knicks, not the Knicks, sorry, when the Celtics have to go against the Bucks. Drew Holiday probably can contain, most likely, Damian Lillard. And the other factors is like Holiday was brought on board to contain basically Jimmy Butler. What Butler did to the Celtics, I think no one could contain Butler. I think Drew Holiday should be able to, even though he wasn't able to do that while he was with the Bucks. But in any case, but the other factor that no one's seeing here, which was proven yesterday, which was shown yesterday, was Porzingis. Porzingis becomes that X factor. He changes everything. The fact that he scored 30 yesterday was impressive in and of itself, to the point where like JT and JB probably doesn't have to score 30 points. They could probably just score 20 points. If Porzingis can show up and like block shots, which 7'3" center that can shoot a three, it's impressive. It's no different from a Jokic or a sort of Jokic or a Giannis type of thing. Um, it's a question of can he handle it and become like a new Jokic. I don't think so, but at least the pressure's off of him that he's not the number one, and he could probably score 20 to 30 points a game and become that all star that Boston needed. So you might have three all stars on your team. The only way Milwaukee, I think, beats out Boston and to get to the finals, they've got to get that third all star. They got to get that third all star to get past them. I mean, you got two superstars already, true, but you need a third all star to help them out to get over that hump and get back into the playoffs. Not into the playoffs, into the finals. Now, of course, you've got what's her name, the Philadelphia Sixers. They on paper look as the number three team. They look like they're the number three team, but in reality, they've got to get rid of Harden. He's not going to do much. So what I hate to say is, but I don't think Philadelphia. They might go deep, but not too deep. It might be just another. The number three team, I think, honestly, in the Eastern Conference is most likely going to be Miami more than anyone else. The Knicks, on the other hand, It depends on this man, Julius Randle. Now, last year you saw how bad he was. Not, I don't want to say how bad, but how detrimental he was when he doesn't get those threes. And when he doesn't get those threes, defensively he sucks then because he becomes moody if the shots are not dropping in on him and such. So it comes down to, can this man do what he initially came in when he was drafted into the league with the Lakers, being a force on the inside? If he can be a force on the inside and still have those outside jumpers, I think he becomes a dominant player. He won't become the number one, but he becomes a dominant player. Randall showed otherwise. Now, Julius Randle, that was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, we saw what he did with Canada, Team Canada, in the World Classic. So let's see how he does around. But in reality, I think this was just a game. Hopefully, this could be the jumping point for him to jump to that All-Star level. Honestly, but if Randle doesn't do well, he brings the Knicks down, and then because he brings the Knicks down, Thibodeau is going to have to start benching him at this point. But we'll see what happens. I mean, this one game, missed the last 5 shots, 1 for 5 on the free throw line. It could be just a fluke game in this situation. It might be one of those this game. It's going to be interesting to see the next game, how he reacts after this game, what he does in the next game. If he does the exact same thing, I hate to say it, but then as a Knicks fan, you're going to have to trade the dude because he's going to be detrimental to your team at this point. But in reality, not for nothing, I mean, what he's done for the Knicks so far, getting him to back to the playoff level, getting him back to being a respectable team, that's great. I think now it's a matter of maybe you move on from him if he becomes that sort of player that hinders the Knicks from getting to the next level. But in reality is this. It'll be an interesting season to see how the Knicks play because it looks like the Knicks could be that number 4, maybe number 3 team, depending on how Miami plays. And if Butler gets injured a lot, which he's been known to, the Knicks could be the number 3 team in the Eastern Conference. But I think it all hinges on 2 things. It does hinge on, Randall. And it does hinge on Randall a little bit. But it does also hinge on R.J. Barrett. Now, R.J. Barrett becomes another factor, too. I mean, he's done decent enough. And I'm sorry, I mentioned earlier about Randall being on Team Canada. I meant R.J. Barrett. Sorry, that was confusion on my part. Or mix up on my part. But R.J. Barrett, if he can play to his expectations, the Knicks can be a force within the Eastern Conference. But that's just my opinion. I think if Thibodeau can get the best out of him, I think it might work out in the long term for the Knicks at this point as well, too. But I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think the Knicks are the number 3 team? Do you think the Boston Celtics are the ones that are most likely favored to go to the finals over the Milwaukee Bucks? Or do the Milwaukee Bucks with Lillard and Giannis be the most dominant duo since the Jordan Pippen era? Or do you think maybe Miami comes out of nowhere as a dark horse, probably makes a trade for someone, and then they become the new dark horse and become the new favorites? It'll be interesting to see. Well, with that, I'll leave it at that. Again, please leave your name in the comment section. Please leave a comment in the comment section. I do read my comments. I do read them all when I get notified. And I do respond to them if they warrant a response. But with that, I'll leave it at that. And if you like my video, like my content, like my video channel, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you do like this video or don't like this video, please hit the like button or dislike button so I know if I should focus on a little bit of basketball. I'll probably get a little bit more in depth this season now with basketball as well too. Probably give more stats and such. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course unrehearsed. As always, until next time.